Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to this week's edition of Not Your Normal Healthpreneur. I am your Not So Normal host, Benita Amos, working to be a healthy gorilla. Not Your Normal Healthpreneur is a weekly show for health practitioners who are looking to start and grow their natural health business. The show aims to help these businesses increase their exposure and reach, to better help their clients, and thus increase their income. Our intent is to connect like-minded health practitioners, to share knowledge and strategies, to inspire newbies and wannabes to accept the call to action, to encourage collaboration and cooperation among all health practitioners as we continue to create the health modalities of choice for the future. We are keen to help health practitioners gain more clients, to grow their business, to acquire more tools to help more people, and in the process to give people education and insight into some of the natural modalities that are available out there and where they might turn to for help as an alternative to, say, settling for mediocre health or resorting to the standard invasive medical procedures that are the norm today, or the taking of pharmaceuticals with their potentially harmful side effects. Ultimately, we want to show how challenging the current healthcare system can work to create more profits by helping more people. So it's a win-win for everyone. So my guest this week is the cheeky Heather Layton. She's the founder of Live It 24/7, and she is, what do we say here, fitness and food freedom coach. Welcome, Heather.
Hi.
So tell us a little bit about your current business. What kind of products and services are you currently offering?
I do one-on-one personal training, one-on-one life coaching, nutrition coaching, and then I have online programs as well.
So talk about how you weave, because I know you're a trainer and I want to talk about that some more, but I want to know how you weave fitness and food freedom into the same type of business or into the same business.
How do I do it? So a lot of times the biggest component to getting people want to lose weight, they want to be lean, they want to look fit, and they want to be strong. And it really is 80 to 90% about the nutrition portion. So you can work out and you can get strong, but if you're really wanting to get lean, and a lot of people want to get back to what they looked like their former self, then you really need to focus on the nutrition side of things. So I do the coaching aspect. So most times when I work with clients who start the training aspect with me, then we start to dive into the nutrition portion. So what is it that you need to be learning in order to get those results that you're looking for in a really sustainable way? So the thing about nutrition is that it has to be sustainable, but you also need to understand how to get lean through working out. Like, how do you do that? Because eating to get lean and fit is very different than just eating to lose weight in some respects.
Explain that further, can you?
Sure. So this is where it gets a little complicated. Okay. I'm going to try and keep it simple.
Okay.
So with working out, so with building muscle, you actually need to eat, generally speaking, you need to eat more than if you were just wanting to lose weight. A lot of people, when they think of losing weight, they get it in their head that they need to cut back their calories and do a whole bunch of cardio. And I was this way too. I believed that in order to stay lean, that's what I needed to do. And it worked for me because I actually really loved cardio at the time, so it was fine. However, the body handles what you're giving it in terms of calories. Like, I'm going to use calories to talk about energy. So calories are a good thing. A lot of people hear the word calories and they start to freak out and they don't like to talk about it. But it's really, what we're talking about here is energy. And your body needs a certain amount of energy to do what you're asking it to do and to give you the results that you're looking for. So after you do a strength workout, what happens during a strength workout is that your muscles, and again, intensity matters, which I don't know if we'll get into on this call, but you can't just work out. You need to think about the intensity level that you're working out at. So if you're working out at the right intensity, then your muscles do start to get little micro tears in them. This is normal. And what this does is sends a signal to all your muscles. So if you think about little workers, so you're lifting weights and your muscles are all these little worker bees, and they're coming over to help lift. They're getting the signal. They're like, okay, she's lifting a lot of really heavy weight right now. We need everybody to come on over and help. So when you get to that intensity and everybody comes over to help, you get little micro tears in the muscle. When you're done your workout, those little worker bees are essentially saying, okay, you just asked us to do a whole bunch of work for you, which we now know we need to repair the tissue because you're going to do this again, so we need to get stronger. But now you need to feed us the appropriate stuff. So what's the appropriate stuff? Mm-hmm. That's going to be a blend of carbohydrates and proteins. So you feed the muscle. You have to give the muscle energy for it to repair. So a lot of people hear about this afterburn effect, and they think you're going to burn more calories after a hard cardio session. Have you heard of the afterburn effect? Yeah. So the truth is, if you're more fit, you're going to have a greater afterburn with a strength training program, because your little worker muscles take 24 to 48 hours to repair that tissue that you sort of just put little micro tears in. And it's laying down more track on top of that muscle in preparation for your next workout. So you have to give it the right fuel, the right energy, or else the tissue isn't going to repair and you're not going to see the same results. Does that make sense?
Yes, actually, yes, yeah. It does.
Yeah. So when you're doing cardio, you're burning that energy during the workout. The muscles and the tissue don't really need to repair the same way. So the calories you're just eating back what you burned. Those calories aren't going to repair the tissue as much as they're repairing if you were to do a strength workout, which is why you can't cardio yourself to lean. You need to strength train your way to lean.
Well, maybe that'll be my motivation then too, because I like my running. But weights, for some reason, it's like I have weights. I do them occasionally, but it's boring. How do you make it not boring?
Oh, well, there's lots of ways. I think when it comes to any workout, it needs to be meaningful. Like, what is the purpose of the workout? Why are you doing it? What do you want to gain from it? And what would inspire you to be motivated? And I often tell my clients to track their sessions. So I use an app called Strong.
Okay.
And I think I paid like $8 for like a lifetime access to it. And in order to celebrate yourself and in order to see results, you need to track them. And a lot of people go to the gym and they don't actually track the weights they're doing. They don't track how many reps and sets they did. So you're going for a workout, but you're not actually seeing where you've improved. And when you don't see where you've improved, well, of course it's not motivating and it doesn't excite you. But if you were able to look back and say, holy crap, I did 5 more at this weight than I did last time. Now something's happening. So not only do you need to choose exercises that you enjoy as well. Like if you find an exercise boring, then you can think about, well, what would make it not boring for me? And sometimes people need compound exercises. They like to do, squats and presses together. Other people like to really isolate the muscle and feel like they're really present with that bicep curl and they can feel the muscle working, and that excites them. And the other thing is thinking about, well, what would you love to do? Some people, like a lot of clients, they hate push-ups, they hate lunges, and they hate pull-ups because they can't do them. Well, what if you could? What if you could do that pull-up? What if you could do that push-up? And if you could, how many would you want to do? So starting to think about, like, a bigger goal is important, but also small goals are really important too. So I have clients who often say, you know what, I just want to be able to do 1 full pull-up. So that's what we train for. And we test it out. And we can see, okay, you did, 5 at this weight last time. you just did 10. So results and tracking your results really helps with motivation.
That's quite interesting. Last summer we were at the local park with the granddaughters, and they have a monkey bars there, right? And I used to go on the monkey bars all the time as a kid. I couldn't move from one to the next.
Yep. It's hard. And that's a great goal to have. Like, how is it that you can be able to do that? And then you learn how to train for it. So if somebody comes to me and they say, Heather, I want to be able to do a pull-up, then I structure a program that allows them to get there. And if you want to do the monkey bars, then we structure a training program to get those muscles that you need to do the monkey bars to get them strong enough to do it.
Well, it's interesting because, and I know that I spent a lot of time in the summer as a kid on the monkey bars. So it's not like I've never done this before, but
Yeah.
but I know it was also work. But certainly when I was a kid, it was nowhere near as hard as it is now.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's like, why is this happening?
Yeah. Where did that go? Because I remember the one summer that I was actually able to, and we had one of those monkey bars that went straight, and then it had the hump in the middle, and it took me like most of the summer to be able to do that hump. But I remember being able to do it. Maybe I'm going to have to set that as a goal for myself.
That would be a great goal.
Upper body strength, definitely something I could use.
Yeah.
So what was the catalyst for you to start your business?
Well, my business has changed over the last sort of 5 years. I've been a personal trainer for 15, and I started my own business, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago or so. And what I felt was missing was the coaching aspect, because as a trainer, I would, people would come in, they say, I want to lose weight, I want to get strong. And so we'd go through the exercises, and I teach them how to be present with their workouts and what an exercise is supposed to feel like. So that way, when they started to do it on their own, they knew they were doing it right. Mm-hmm. So that part I really enjoyed. But when it came to the nutrition goals, which, as I said, are like hugely important, people couldn't commit to the goals. I would give them a plan, and they'd say, yeah, I can totally do it. And then they'd come back the next week for a check-in, and I'd say, how did it go? And they're like, I didn't do it. And they didn't know why, and I didn't know why. And I felt like, well, this really sucks, because how am I supposed to help people reach their freedom, right? Their physical freedom, because that's important. You want to be able to do anything physical. You don't want to feel like you're held back.
Yes.
If you're on a vacation, you want to be able to climb to the top of those stairs and look out and see the amazing view. So that's just one example of freedom. But I didn't know how to help them, and I didn't feel good about it. And what I realized was missing was sort of the psychology behind goal setting. So mm-hmm. How could I help clients set a goal that they could actually stick to? So then that's when I kind of went out on my own, because I realized I needed to bring in an entirely different element to fitness that's more than just personal training.
Well, again, and this is what I always go back to too, is the body is the whole, right? It's not just lifting weights in the basement. That's quite interesting. I'm learning a lot here. Which is awesome. It's one of the reasons why I love doing these shows. So who would you say is your ideal client? I think I have an idea, but let's talk about your ideal client.
So I have two ideal clients, and one of them is the person who feels like no matter how hard they try, they cannot stick to a plan. And most of the time it's nutrition related, but sometimes exercise too. So it's a bit of both, but more often than not, people have a harder time sticking to nutrition goals. It seems to be a bigger concern than the fitness part. Not saying that people can easily stick to a fitness plan, but there's more to deal with a nutrition plan than there is with a fitness plan. So the people who want to make a change, they want to be healthier, they want to start exercising, they want to eat better, but they feel like no matter how hard they try, they just can't do it. So I love working with that type of person. And then the other type of person is those people who have been exercising for quite a while. It could be a number of months or a number of years, and they eat fairly healthy. They understand what, proper nutrition is, but they feel like they're within 15 pounds of where they really want to be, and they can't seem to get over that plateau. So those are the two types of people I absolutely love working with.
Well, I can see how you could easily inspire people on the training part of it, because the minute I start talking to you about training, you light up.
So, thanks for the reminder. I guess I do.
Well, you do. So that in itself inspires people. I would say I'm probably your second type of client. I work out all the time, but it's like I would definitely like to change the body shape, because I know that you said that you work with people on that count as well, right?
Yeah. So I have done. So I've been involved in fitness for a lot of my life, and I started long distance running when I was in my 20s, and I ran for 15 to 20 years, and then I switched over to fitness competition about 4 years ago, and that's a significant difference in the style of training that I was doing when I was long distance running, like a significant difference. So the fitness competition, that's where I really learned more about how to do the sculpting part of it. So I love both. If you want to train for cardio and you love that, then I can absolutely give a great plan that will support that. If you really want to learn how to find your full physical potential, then, and I know people get excited about that, they really want to know what is possible for them.
Mm-hmm.
And gosh, anything's possible as long as you have the right knowledge and the right systems that work for you, that fit into your life. And there's so many different ways of achieving the same end result. I kind of use the analogy of painting a wall. If the end result is that you want the wall painted, sure, you could throw paint at the wall. You could, throw paint balloons at it or roll it or do it the proper way. In the end, the wall gets painted. Mm-hmm. So all that matters is that you're choosing the way that works for you. And I love helping people figure out what that way is. So the answer to your question about the sculpting part is yes, I absolutely love that too.
Well, and certainly, and that's one of the reasons why I occasionally dabble with weights, is because I'm not going to enter any kind of fitness competition, guaranteed. But a well-sculpted body is very aesthetically pleasing, right? You look very nice, either in a bathing suit or in an evening gown, mm-hmm. just with the definition, right?
Yeah, and it's great. Like it brings so much confidence.
Yes.
You feel good. You feel strong because you can see that you're strong.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Well, that to me, I think that's a natural byproduct of anybody who works out regularly is confidence, right? Because you're confident in what you are capable of.
Absolutely.
So talk about some of the challenges that you help your clients with in your business. I know we touched on a few of them, but go again because it lights you up.
Yeah. So from the fitness side of things, the people who have been working out for a while and can't seem to get through that plateau, in fact, most people, they end up they go to the gym and they go through the motions of their workout, and they're doing their shoulder presses and they're thinking, okay, don't forget to send that email. And they're doing their bicep. Okay, don't forget, like, what are we having for dinner? Remember to pick up. And they're just not even focusing on what it is that they came to the gym to do.
Right.
And when you don't give 100% attention to what it is that you're doing, you're not going to reap the benefit. And that goes for anything that you do in life. If you don't show up to the maximum, you can't expect to get the maximum results out of it. So it's a matter of teaching them how to be present and what the workout is supposed to feel like. And I love just going over that form and technique and showing them that technique matters, and how do you isolate a muscle, because people don't even realize that. They don't know, they just don't know what that exercise is supposed to feel like. And once you know, you can feel the muscle working, and you know that, okay, I'm totally working out on my glutes right now. I can feel it. Oh yes, there it is. So I love doing that with the fitness part of things. I also really love working with people who most of my clients have chronic sort of shoulder or mobility issues. So I love being able to teach them the exercises they can do to improve the mobility in a way that won't inhibit or interfere with other exercises that they're trying to do. A lot of people don't embark on a fitness plan because they have a bad shoulder or a bad knee, and they're afraid, and they don't know how to work around it. But there's lots you can do, and often it's just a matter of putting your body in a different position, so that way you're not aggravating that injury more.
Right.
So from the nutrition side, I love talking about nutrition as well. Most of my clients, they can't stick to a nutrition plan. And I don't like the word diet. And I know you and I talked about this word diet before. People believe that they need to be on a diet in order to get the results they want. So they go on a diet plan and they get the results, but then they resent the diet because it's not fun. And then they go off the diet. And then of course the results, they can't maintain the results because they actually didn't really learn anything from the diet. They didn't learn how to still enjoy their food. And for me, what's important is finding the right style. I help people find the style of eating that reflects them and what they want their life to be like. If they're social people and they want to be adventurous and they want to try new foods, and there's foods that they really love. I'm a sweet tooth. I'm a cupcake girl. I cinnamon buns, like pizza, like I'm a carbaholic. And so I help people figure out, how do you put that into your life and still see the results that you're looking for in a way that you can do it in a way that's reasonable. And a lot of people, when they cut these foods out, it makes it really hard to resist them. And so then they feel guilty when they have, they can never have one piece, first of all, because it's like, when you're growing up and your parents say to you, you're underage, and they say, don't drink, don't smoke, don't do this, don't do that. And so all you kind of want is just to do it because they've told you no. It's the same thing with nutrition. When someone tells you no, it's like, really?
Yes.
I'm going to do it.
You're not the boss of me.
That's right. And so then you overdo it.
Yes.
And when things are always available to you, you start to realize you don't need to have it all the time. It's like, oh yeah, I can have that whenever I want it, and I actually don't want it right now. But if it's not available to you, and it only comes around once in a while, you're absolutely going to go for it. And then you're going to feel guilty because you can't just have one. You end up eating the whole bowl of M&Ms or the whole bag of chips. So I help people with that, but there's a huge emotional component when it comes to eating. And a lot of people, they come to me and they say, if I could just stop snacking, I would totally be where I want to be with my weight. And they don't understand why it is that they're snacking. Some people know already that they snack when they're stressed or they're lonely or they're sad. And that's a great first step. And there's a solution for that. There's absolutely a way to start to learn. There's a message there for you with that food. When you are sitting at your desk and you're thinking, oh, I have that leftover cake in the fridge. And then you stop what you're doing and you walk over to the fridge to have the cake. There's a reason that popped into your mind. Why? Why did that thought just occur to you? and what is it that you are looking to fulfill? What's the need? What's the desire that, like, there's a message inside that. So I help people understand the message. Why are you making the choice that you're making? So that you can be more aware of your snacking habits and learn more about yourself, and where can you get that feeling that will satisfy you just as much, but so that you won't actually feel guilty about it. And a lot of people freak out because food is comfortable, and they're afraid of giving up their comfort food. And so what I love to help people with is realizing, hey, you're not going to give up your comfort food at all. You don't have to worry about that. But how can you still enjoy your comfort food and honor your fitness goals at the same time?
That's quite a bit of information in there. You touched on a couple of things. The one is you talk about we don't want to have just one piece. We want to eat it until it's gone, and that, I think, goes back to our good old survival instinct. When back in the day, if berries were only available in June, we ate as many berries as we could because they didn't have them for another year. And now we have this unending supply of whatever it is we want, as close as the grocery store or the convenience store. So that lands us in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is, you also talked about, like, the whole denial thing. It's like, I'm an ex-smoker from 100 years ago. I went through a program called Smoke Enders, and what they did for us is we set a quit date, and then we worked at eliminating our triggers over the 6-week period until our quitting date. But we also reframed everything. So in terms of, we weren't denying ourselves a cigarette, we were talking about how we were rewarding ourselves by being a non-smoker, right? So it's very much, because quitting smoking is very much exactly that, right? It's a mental game. If you can't beat that mental game, you'll never quit.
Yeah.
And people ask me, it's like, do you miss it? It's like, no, I must have done a really good job of brainwashing myself into not wanting it, because I don't, like, you couldn't pay me to go back to it.
Yeah, it's so true. And one thing I will say is that the food industry doesn't help. It's kind of like the cigarette industry. It's addictive. Yes. And the food industry knows that. Yes. So they've put together the perfect blend of, there's 3 secret ingredients that they put together, which are your proteins, or your sugar, fat, and salt. And they've made it this bliss point. Yes. So that way, and a lot of people feel like they're powerless and that they need more willpower around food. And that's just not the case. I mean, it could be emotionally driven, but at the same time, when you find yourself with the inability to stop eating whatever it was, check in and ask yourself, are you being tricked by the food industry right now? Because generally speaking, you are. Processed food, they've put that perfect blend together, and it hits the reward center in your brain, just like smoking does, just like drugs does. Your brain doesn't understand the difference between food, cocaine, cigarettes. It doesn't know. Yes. Chocolate, sex. It doesn't know. All it knows is, oh, reward, fun. I want more. So it's just important, I think, to understand that it's not your fault if you feel like you don't have willpower. The food industry is doing what it's done best, which is to keep you going back for more. So something for people to think about is, is this hitting my reward center? Am I getting tricked by food science? And usually you are.
Well, that's a really good way to look at it, because if you talk about where people get tripped up, a lot of times it's like they fall off the wagon and end up beating themselves up for it without just accepting that it's, I guess I went down the garden path. I didn't, and it is very much a matter of not checking in. It's a matter of being misled without actually going back and figuring out, why did I do this? What do I watch for next time so that I don't go down that same road again? Okay, so let's talk about, what are some of your pressing business challenges right now?
Well, right now, what I can say is I'm working on thinking about the 2 types of clients that I love to work with. And I have a lot of resources of, being a trainer for 15 years. I have tons of resources, and I'm realizing that those resources, I want to figure out a way to better deliver them to my clients. I mean, they're sitting in my folders on my laptop. And how do I construct these in a way that, they're so useful, and I'm often referring them to people. I'll send this attachment, say, okay, I have the perfect thing for you. I'm going to send it off to you. But what I really want to do is figure out how to create the perfect packages with all the information I have. How do I do that in a way that allows me to easily deliver that information to the clients when they need it? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yes. And
yeah.
Like when you look around at the state of most people and their health, there's a big need for what the services that you're offering.
Yeah, I think so.
I know so. So, what gives you joy in your business? Let's talk about some of your successes.
My successes come from my clients, and I'm thinking about one client I just had a coaching session with before you, and she came to me, and she'd been working out with a trainer for on and off for quite a long time, and she was within that, I want to get down to that last 15 pounds. And she had said she was following me and noticing that I eat cupcakes and I did the fitness competition thing. And so we've been working together for, 4 months now, and she is down 22 pounds. Wow. 22 pounds. I'm like, oh my God, it's just insane. And she says, and I figured out how to enjoy my wine and my cheese. And she's just, and we've also gone through the emotional aspect, like, why am I eating this? And now she's saying, I have a better understanding of why am I reaching for those chips? What is it that I'm really looking for right now? And what would I actually feel better doing? So, having a bath or having a cup of tea and reading a book would actually give her a similar feeling than the chip that she was about to eat. But of course, it would never just be one chip. So I love stories like that. And another client who, same thing, she'd been working out for a long time, but couldn't shake the baby weight. She's been carrying around this extra weight since she had her last child for 2 years. And we went through the nutrition portion and just kind of rearranged some things in her diet. And I don't do diet plans for people because, again, I said earlier, I don't feel like you really learn anything from them. I will give suggestions on, hey, why don't you add this up here? Like, you had it for lunch, we're going to move it up here, and we'll make small adjustments. And a lot of my clients say, it feels so easy. And that's what I want. It has to fit into your life. If it feels hard, like, I hate the fact when you hear often that goals need to be challenging or else they're not worth doing. It's just, why would you want to add? No wonder people can't stick to goals. They make the goals too big and they're too stressful, and so they don't work.
Yes. Well, so, and it's not sustainable. When you talk about your clients saying, I lost all this weight and I can still eat wine or drink wine and eat cheese, how is that not a win?
People can't believe it's a win because they have a belief that it's supposed to be hard. That if it's too easy, it's impossible that it'll work. Yeah.
But that whole paradigm that you're talking about, that's sustainable, because it's like, I can lose the weight and I don't have to give up my lifestyle. I just need to shift it or change it a little bit where I can still get what I need and still have what I want.
That's right. And society has taught us that that's impossible. That the only way for you to achieve your goals is to make hard sacrifices. Put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Yeah, it doesn't work. And so I have often, even just today with another client who I've been working with for a while as well, she's made some changes consistently to her breakfast. And then we're ready to make another change. And I said, well, what's going on? She's like, well, it just seems so easy. Like, I don't think it'll work. Like, okay. And there's a part of people when they're about to embark on something new and they want to achieve, whether it's a business goal or it's a nutrition goal, when they're about to take a step, there's this fear, there's this thing that comes into their mind that says, I just don't think it's going to work. You've tried this before, you've been down this road before, it's not going to work.
Right.
And that part of you, that fear, it's a normal reaction, because that fear has a message for you. And it's important for people to recognize that all those voices that come into your head, they're part of your team. So my team might say, one team member might say, Heather, I don't know about this. I don't think so. I don't think you should do it. They're trying to send me a message. I don't want to resist them. I want to let them in and have their say, because they're sending me a message, which is really important. So my point in all this is that fear is just normal. It's normal because fear is just trying to keep you safe. It doesn't want you to fail again. But you know differently now, because if you're trusting what your inner voice is really saying and everything is making sense to you, then there's nothing you can lose. There's no reason not to try something. If something isn't causing you harm, it's not risking your life, you're not going to lose your home, you can still put food on the table, then why not? Why not try something new? Sure, you have a belief that it won't work, but what if it does? What if it does work and it's not going to hurt you? You're going to learn something new. And hey, if it's not for you, great, go back to your old ways. There's nothing to lose.
I love that fear has a message for you. That's really good. And the other thing is, I just heard this the other day, was the whole, just because I have a thought doesn't mean it's true. It's just a thought.
Totally. Yeah. We have a lot of thoughts, and all those thoughts are messages, and they're all part of your team. So it's important to try and this is a part of the coaching aspect that I love doing with clients, is asking, okay, well, what is that thought really trying to tell you? What's underneath that thought? So you can better know yourself, and that way you can still figure out, how do I take a step forward while feeling this feeling that I have? If I'm anxious or if I'm scared, how do I still take one tiny, tiny step forward toward what I want, so that this part of me over here that's anxious or scared still feels okay with what I'm doing?
Right. And I still get to drink wine.
Yeah.
If that's what you like.
Absolutely. Whatever your thing is, and if you have lots of things, I mean, I have lots of things. Then how do you do it in a way that's reasonable for you? Enjoy your life, because for me, the 3 pillars for my business would be to be fit, love food, and enjoy your life.
I like that.
And what do you need to do to be able to do all those things? How do you fit in, workouts? What does being fit really mean to you? And what does loving food mean to you? And what does enjoying life mean to you? And are you honoring those things?
Well, I know I saw on one of your Facebook posts one day the picture of the pizza that you were about to have, which looked delicious, right? And it's like, and a lot of times, really, when it comes to nutritional coaching, that might not be something you would see on a nutritional coach's page. So that's why I really like that, because again, it's like, if you're asking people to live in a life of denial, you're setting them up to either struggle and or fail.
Yeah. More often than not, my clients will say to me, a session that I had last week, this client went on vacation. She went to an all-inclusive, and often people would come to me and they're afraid of vacations because they're afraid of overdoing it and coming home and gaining weight and then feeling guilty. And so this has happened to 2 separate clients. She went on vacation, she came home, and she said, it was great. I made conscious choices. I enjoyed the food that I wanted to enjoy. I gained no weight. And she said it was just nice to be present and to take everything that we've been working on and the questions and the self-reflection of, what does that food represent to you? Do you want to try it? What's important about it to you? And really, really understanding what food means to you. So I love that. And the same thing happened to another client as well. She got to try all the things that she wanted to try, but with the tools that she's learned, she didn't feel guilty about it and didn't gain any weight.
That's awesome, because yes, I've heard that from a lot of people too. It's like, oh, if I go on vacation and I've got 10 or 15 pounds that I have to lose afterwards, right? Which not only do you have to lose that weight, then it's also affecting your vacation, which absolutely shouldn't be.
That's right. I mean, life is meant to be enjoyed. And I was just in Jamaica, and I work out on vacation normally because I want to. I mean, there's times where I don't, but I just think about, well, how am I feeling? Like there's weeks where I might go for a week without working out, and that's okay, because that's what's important to me. Yes. I'm honoring what I need to do that week, and there's forgiveness there. It doesn't matter. There's no hard, strict guidelines for things.
Right.
But for me, when I go on vacation, I'm a foodie, as you can see in my Instagram profiles. I mean, you've got pictures of pizza and cupcakes and drinks, and food represents adventure for me. It's new experiences. And if I don't like something, I'm not going to finish it, but I'm going to try it and I'm going to assess it. How do I feel about this? Is this hitting my taste buds? How do my taste buds feel about this right now? And sometimes they're like, no, don't make us eat that. Okay, message received. And then other times they'll say, oh, Heather, that's really good. Yeah, this is totally worth having. So that's how I manage it. I check in with my taste buds often to see what they think we should do about this.
So I could see you sitting in front of a platter of food, having a conversation with that platter of food, yes?
Yeah, and it's fun. Like, people often think it's, oh, you analyze your food too much. It's not about analyzing. It's about learning to appreciate. Like, if I'm going to have this, I want to appreciate it. Yes. I don't want to waste that moment. I want to enjoy my food and get the max benefit of it. I don't want to just shovel it down and not even know what it was that I had. It's an experience. Like, food is very sensory and it's nostalgic.
Yes.
So if you're trying to enjoy your life, part of enjoying your life is being present with everything that you're doing, even what you're drinking and what you're eating and where you are.
You're so much fun. I could listen to you all day long. So do you currently collaborate with other practitioners, or do you have plans to collaborate in the future, or is that something that's on your horizon?
So when it comes to collaborations, yeah, I am actually working with a couple of people right now, and we're trying to put together like a retreat that allows, and it's mostly, it'll be for women. How do you love the way you are right now? Even if you're not happy, even if you want to lose weight, even if you're not happy with how you look, how can you still be okay not being okay? Right. Okay, I don't like how I look right now, but I'm doing something about it. So how can I still be okay not being okay, if that makes sense? So I like to look for people to work with who really want to help women be more confident and stop being so hard on themselves.
Yes.
And how do you really look to yourself and appreciate who you are as a person? Because we're too judgmental on ourselves. And it's really sad because we have so much to offer. And when we think of all the things that we do every day for other people,
yes,
especially moms, moms are constantly, they give so much of their heart and soul to their families. Yes. And yet they feel like they're still not doing a good enough job. It's like, if you listed everything that you got done today, oh my God, you'd be mind blown with all your accomplishments. So really looking to collaborate with people who can offer women tools to appreciate who they are as people, help them figure out what they want for their life, because often women get lost in their own desires and their own goals and their own dreams, and they end up giving everything to everybody else and not even really knowing what they like anymore. So get your own identity back and think about what lights you up. Who do you want to be as a person, and where do you see yourself? What are your goals? What are your dreams? And offering all the tools that we can to help you be successful in that way. So forgiveness is huge, and self-compassion is huge. Wherever you are in your life right now, whatever your struggles are, it's not your fault. You're learning how to deal with your challenges, and people think that they should know. Yeah. Which is ridiculous. Like, how would you possibly know how to deal with whatever it is you're dealing with right now? Yeah. You have to learn, you have to figure it out. And that's the hardest part.
Yeah. That's a beautiful idea, because again, like you say, women are very good at giving, and they're also very good at, we're our own worst enemy, right? We talk to ourselves in a way that we would never talk to a friend.
Absolutely.
And somehow, because it's our own judgment of ourselves, we've been conditioned to believe that that's not only okay, it's almost the norm, right? Which it really shouldn't be.
Yeah. I remember I had gone through a loss about 5 years ago, and it really took me, it really took me into the deepest, darkest place I'd ever been in. Mm. And I felt like I was a total failure. And I was reading a book, and I think it was actually Option B by Sheryl Sandberg. And there was a part in there that talked about self-compassion. And there was an exercise that was just write down everything that you've accomplished. And when I say accomplish, I mean, what step did you take to improve something, or just make something not get worse? And that can be as simple as picking up a sock. Mm. So I had to start writing down, because I felt like a total failure and life would never be good again. So I started making notes, and some of the most ridiculous things at the time, it felt silly, but yeah, okay, I picked up a sock. I made the bed. I emptied the dishwasher. And all these little things started to add up, and I thought, oh, I didn't do nothing.
I picked up a sock.
That's right. And just by seeing it made me realize that I'm not just, I'm not just taking up space.
Right.
I am contributing. I'm making things better in some way or another. And that was when my confidence was at its worst. And that was one of the exercises that I did. And one of the exercises I get a lot of my clients to do when they feel like they're contributing nothing. And they all of a sudden start to feel so much better.
Nice. Well, I'm pretty much a firm believer that you're contributing something just based on this chat.
Why, thank you. It's been a lot of fun, actually.
So, how do you currently market your business?
Well, I'm trying to do more sort of social media stuff that's more tailored to the pillars I mentioned, and connecting more with people. I've done some public speaking, which I quite enjoy. So I'll probably do more of that. Often I'll so I've had a few people reach out to me through social media, which is always nice, because often you're putting out content and you think it's going to get a lot of engagement, and there's like birds chirping, crickets, there's nobody around. But people are paying attention. So I have to remind myself that even if there's no engagements, even if nobody's saying anything, I know it's impacting, because people will reach out to me. So that's been good. And then often I'll just go to networking events, and I'll meet people and see if there's something there. And I do a discovery call. So I will, it's about 45 minutes to an hour, and I'll have a chat with clients or potential clients, whoever, who are struggling with whatever it is with their fitness or nutrition. They can't stick to a plan and nothing's working and they don't want to go back on a diet because they know that'll fail too eventually. Or as I said, those people who are plateauing and they feel like they're doing everything they can, but something's missing. So we'll take time and go through a call, and I'll just listen to what they feel are their biggest struggles and then help them figure out what might be a good option. Here's how I can help.
Nice.
And does this fit or it doesn't fit? The Facebook Lives are going well too. And then interviews, like kind of what you're doing as well. Just getting the message out there and giving people as much content as I can, letting people know that the option is here. And that's the one thing one of my clients said to me about my online program. It's called Why the Fuck Did I Just Eat That? Yeah, self-explanatory.
Yes.
And one of my clients in the feedback, she said, I'm so glad a program like this exists, because she said, if I hadn't have known Heather, I would have never known that there was a solution. And I thought, oh God, that's right. I need to get out there and let people know that there is absolutely a solution.
Well, and that's what I said to you earlier. It's like, I love doing this show because it's so easy for your passion, or for whoever I'm talking to, but in this case, your passion to shine through just when you're talking about what you're doing, so people can look at it and go, oh, she could help me. I could work with her. She's fun. I want to go down that road because I still want to drink wine and eat cheese.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Nice. Okay, so who would you say has been a source of inspiration for you?
Oh, inspiration. I have to say my clients, actually.
Nice.
Because just when I start to feel like maybe I'm not doing a good enough job as a trainer and as a coach, yeah, when I feel that way, at the end of the call, I get a thank you. Oh my gosh, that was so enlightening. I was like, oh, really? Okay. And it's just the feedback I get from my clients, because often you don't know the impact that you're making, just like the Facebook post, just like social media, you don't realize the impact that you're making. And it's not until somebody tells you, which is why it's important to do client feedback. If you're ever feeling really low on yourself, it's probably the best time to do it, because often we think we're going to get, oh my God, what are they going to say about me? But I would say 99% of the time, there's nothing but flying colors for you as the business owner, what you're putting out there and how you're impacting people. So they are really what reminds me, I am doing what I feel I need to do. I am living my purpose. And they remind me of that.
Well, because I can easily see how it's very easy to get caught up in the trap, because you know all of the information that you're passing along, and somehow there's a part of you that doesn't really realize how lost the people that you're dealing with might be.
Yeah, that's true. I think especially the people who are maybe not working with you right now, who are just following you and who are taking away your tips and making changes in their life. You don't know what they're doing.
Yes.
And for me as a coach, part of what I love about life coaching is really helping people uncover those deep roots as to what's really causing all that pain. So I get to see them. I get to hear their pain and hear their honesty, and I can relate to a lot of it in my own way. And in fact, often most people can relate to another person's pain, even if they haven't shared the exact same experience.
Yes.
The feelings underneath are what's there, the fear, the shame.
Yes.
Those things are common in all of us.
Right. Well, because we're all essentially built the same.
That's right.
Our experiences vary, but nice. Yeah. Beautiful. So tell people where they can get a hold of you then, Heather.
So my website is liveit247, so LIVICTORIT with the numbers 247.com. And I have a contact form on there. So if anyone wants to book a discovery call with me, they can absolutely do that. I'd be happy to speak to people. And yeah, my phone number, I can be reached at 780-952-8236.
Nice. Well, this has been so much fun, Heather. I can't it's interesting because every time I do one of these shows, I feel like I'm being blessed with some of the gifts that you people are offering, simply because I learned so much on each of these calls about you, but also about what your services are capable of offering to people.
Well, thank you for the opportunity as well. It's always nice to be able to share the reason. Every time I share the reason why I do something, I'm reminded of it. I go, oh yeah, that's right. I do that too, and I love it, and that's why. Oh yeah. So it's really helpful for me too.
Nice. Okay. Well, thank you. So thank you to our guest this week, and then thank you to everybody for joining us. We love all the knowledge and opportunities that are presented here. As always, we appreciate your feedback. So if you've enjoyed the show, please let us know, and then spread the love and tell your friends. If you have suggestions for someone that you'd like to see, please email me at benita@thehealthygorilla.com. Coming soon to my website is 15 easy hacks for more visibility, more clients, and more income for natural health businesses. And then join us again next week, and let's keep this natural health movement going.